guys, Iron here with a new video. This time around we go over what I use with my witch, or let's just say my witch guide. But first I would like to thank all my members of the channel and welcome a new member, Beast, to the wolf pack. Thanks man, I really appreciate it. Now onto the video. You all know I really don't like using pre-awakening. I use it until we got awakening and then mostly never thought about using it ever again. So if you plan to make a witch, it's perfectly valid to just play awakening, but of course you will be making it harder on yourself than when you would combine skills. I just don't like fighting long range. I usually play melee classes in all my MMO games. I mean, I play LAN on PC, or in this case I used to play LAN, but moving to console I was originally planning to main LAN again when they released her. However, LAN with controller isn't exactly like LAN with mouse and keyboard. It felt off and I stuck with my witch, which was actually going to be a temporary character for me. Fast forward a year and yeah, still on my witch after trying out countless other classes on console. Maybe it's the frame rate issue. I'm very sensitive to frame rate drops and low frame rate. I don't know, maybe it's just 120 frames on PC and then I go on to PlayStation 4 and I have like 30 frames. I don't know what it is, but anyways, the thing that draws me to the witch class is that it doesn't really need combos to do well at virtually anything, and I can already hear it. Oh my god, get good man! I mean, I can use my skills when I need them, or think when I need them, and not repeat set combos in a queue of combos, which is what PvE in the end is. And for PvP, most classes are dancing around each other until they either get a knock or a CC and then finally grab classes. If they outgear you, they just go for the grab, and most of the time it's over before you get back up. With Awakening Witch, I don't really need to rely on any of that. I can just super armor rotate, apply damage, and I like that playstyle. For me, it's perfect. Now, some people think it's easy to just Voltaic or Thunder everything to death. To them, I gotta say, it's also easy to just like get out of the skill range. It takes me 2 to 3 seconds to cast, so while I'm locked into place, just saying, move out of the way if it's that easy to play a witch. It's also easy to avoid her heavy AoEs, but most of the time when I get back up, I'm on low health and they think they want to like finish me off, but they're gonna get a full take in their face. Step out of the way. Now, about when you start playing a witch, if you're totally new, follow the main quest line. If you already have a character, get 100 to 140 AP and follow one of my level 1 to 56 or 1 to 61 guides. You should be able to do magic missile all the way to level 56. No problemos. Once you do get there, do your awakening quest and just dump all your skill points into awakening and grind. Just grind out awakening first and foremost, except a couple of pre-awakening skills that you absolutely want to get. Also, these skills are Healing Lighthouse, Healing Aura, and your teleport skills. I mainly use Aura to keep my mana up, but more on that later. The other pre-awakening skills, get them when you get the SP. A few notable good ones are Magic Lighthouse, as it aggro mobs, puts minus 15 DP debuff on them. I have these on my ring menu. Spellbound Heart helps with maintaining mana and gives 10% movement boost. Get all the passive skills, HP, Mind Training and Monster AP. Then start getting some of the attack skills in order, or pretty much in order for your preference. Just make sure to have enough SP to get the absolute version of the skill. Otherwise, you're gonna be hitting like a wet noodle. Now, the skills in question are Fireball, Fireball Explosion, Earthquake. They're great skills to get first, together with Sage Memory and Speed Spell 3, just so you can get the Rabam skills that we also need later on. My preference here is Sage Light for the Rabam skills, a really quick full heal and Swift Earthquake. You can go with Trembling Thunder, but it's going to eat heavily into your available skill points. Get the Swift version now, try out Trembling Thunder later once you get more SP, and then just decide what you like the most. Both have super armor. I don't really use Blizzard, Meteor Shower, Lightning Chain much, if at all. It's not exciting for me to fight at long range, like I said. Now, super armor rotations, learn them and use them as a witch. You can be in super armor for a very long time, especially useful in group fights, less useful in 1v1 because they're just going to get, yeah, they're just gonna grab you. I'm gonna show you my favorite one that I like to use during node wars or during group fights. It's a one string. You start off with Thunderstorm, Voltaic Pulse, Summon Pet, though I usually keep it locked while I'm just grinding or just playing normally. Swift Earthquake, Fridgit Fog. It's fully super armor, but you need to switch back your awakening weapon. I use Detonative Flow for that. You can teleport out, absolute teleport back in, and Voltaic and Thunderstorm should be good to go again. The only time you are vulnerable here is when you use the weapon swap with Detonative Flow. You can also teleport out, swap weapons, heal if needed, and then use frontal guard skills like Yoke and Equilibrium Break if there are people heading towards you. The drawback from this combo is that it takes a lot of mana. Also, if you need more super armor, you can now weave in magical evasion as well. It just got patched. In case you need to move around in the crowd, then use Fissure Wave on the leftovers if you like. Just only use it when you think you can use it. Because yeah, it's not protected, but it's gonna be protected soon with new add-ons for skills. So I'm probably, when that comes out, I'll probably put a frontal guard on Fissure Wave. Now, to this end, I don't really see why I need to use pre-awakening all that much. Now, since it's PlayStation 4, I find that with many of my button presses, they don't get registered, and I could do combos like this much easier on PC with my witch. Low FPS kind of messes with my timing. I don't know if it messes with yours, but it does with mine. Now, finally, skill add-ons. We will be going over my main skills and try to explain why my choices are what they are. First up, for Earthquake, all defense plus 15, 5% accuracy, mainly used in a group fight where there are no grab classes or right in the middle of a bunch of mobs, so extra DP and accuracy, not so bad. Second one is Freeze, PvP attack plus 5 and all defense plus 15. Don't really use it a lot, but it's a nice DP buff, PvP buff. Fridgit Fog plus 5 PvP and 7% movement speed. I keep this one on my hotbar, but I mainly use it in group fights because it has super armor for it and it's in my main combo chain. Now, these are pretty quick moves, as I don't really use Fireball, Meteor and Blizzard. Well, Earthquake isn't that quick, but it kinda changed well in my super armor rotation and gives you some extra staying power at the end of the combo. Now, for awakening skills, there are follows: Fissure Wave plus 5 PvP attack and 40 damage per tick. Thunderstorm is my plus 20 mob damage and adds another burn for extra damage. And then Voltaic Pulse plus 10 defense, and you recover mana, because yeah, I use it mainly to recover mana actually. Now, since Volt is on a really short cooldown, it's nice to use it to recover mana with it, and it kind of boosts your tankiness, because when you get up after a knockdown or after they grabbed you, you want to be a little bit more tanky while you have low health, and to rely on your super armor during the Volt to take somebody out. So yeah, I go with that. Fissure Wave I mainly use to also recover mana with and deal some extra damage. And Thunderstorm is my 20 mob damage booster and another burn. Now, between Wave and Volt, the Add-Sphere buff that lasts 30 seconds provides me with 700 mana, 20 AP and a lot of other stuff. It's super great to keep doing it when it's up. Aura available every 10 seconds, the healing aura also provides mana. With all those combined, I really never run into mana issues, which is what I find great and allows me to grind without really having to keep track or requiring another potion to be in my inventory. Now, skills I have on my hold bar, I think this is also mostly preference. I use the Red Lighthouse for mob aggro, the Rabam Fast Heal, Fissure Wave, only because I find the button combination annoying as feck. Quick Earthquake, I use it to switch to pre-awakening in my super armor combo in large group fights. Healing and Fridgit Fog because it can also be used to switch to pre-awakening. Well, the Fridgit Fog switches to pre-awakening, the healing just heals. Though I tend to test a lot for videos, so my hold bars do change from time to time, as there is an open spot right now which previous had my buzz on there. Still not sure what I want in there. As for my menu skills, I'm trying to get used to not having inventory quests and stuff like that on my ring menus, except for those that aren't, of course, on the menu, like Fairy, Maid and so on. So yeah, try things out, see what is comfortable for you. Okay, so rotations for PvE. I mainly use Magic Lighthouse. I back away from there, drop some Toxic Flood, Voltaic, Thunder, Equilibrium Break, and then switch to pre-awakening, Swift Earthquake, Earthquake, then swift back to awakening with Detonative Flow to finish the mobs off with a Fissure Wave if needed, and then you switch back to Voltaic and then Thunder. Most of the time just rotating awakening skills is more than enough, and yeah, you got plenty of moves you can use in between, so you really don't need to switch to pre-awakening. Well, not in my book. If you get low on mana, I use the Psych of Asphere to buff myself and fit in Rage common whenever it gets full. All my skills are locked, so I never use Rage on separate skills. The 1 minute Rage buff, I find that much better deal. I do tend to forget my Rage every so often, so yeah, sue me. Now, food buffs, I usually use Simple Crown Meal and the 10 buff. As for elixirs, I carry some demi-human party versions around because they're cheap, work well in Ackman, and I find that using Giant's Drought or Perfume, it kind of feels like a waste still. I should probably do a comparison with or without. As for crystals, I use the setup from my neutral crystal guide. Yesterday talked with a friend of mine who uses the PvE setup, and with that one he actually pulls about 300 more trash in Histria, though there are a few more differences in our build, such as I use Libers while he has Begs, and for Histria mobs you want to have a bit more accuracy, all while he has less AP than me, so there really is a variance in what you can pull depending on various factors. As for the Offhand, I am right now using Nuver because of the Should You Grind video series. I don't have spare silver to spend on Akurum, because all my silver is going into equipping all my alts with goddammit boss weapons. But I would advocate to always use Kurum as a witch, so you get better survivability through grabs and CC. I personally would never use a Nuver or damage above 261 AP Kurum. I find still doesn't scale all that great, and at that point you can still really hurt people with one Voltaic or Thunder. I don't see any reason to run Nuver ever. Kurum forever. And yeah, I think that's kind of about it about my witch setup. Let me know if I missed something and I'll try to clarify it in the comment below. I don't know.